guys, in today's video we are going to be going over the Sephora sale recommendations. I'm so excited. Tomorrow is the big day for Rouge members for the October/November sale at Sephora. This is 20% off for Rouge, 15 for VIB, 10% for BI members. So I'm really excited to be going over my recommendations today. There's quite a bit to go through, and I feel like I love watching these videos as well, just to kind of see what everybody else is recommending. So the first item that I'm going to be recommending for the sale is, of course, the Natasha Denona Dream Palette. Now, speaking of Natasha Denona, we do know she has another palette coming out very, very soon called the Retro Glam Palette. So we have a retro, a glam, and now a retro glam. And that one is going to be, I believe, releasing after the sale. So, you know, I guess it is what it is, but this is a palette that I really, really love. That's actually her latest release. And, well, she has baby gold too, but this one is the latest midi. And this is the My Dream palette. This is really stunning. I've actually been really enjoying this one. This has a lot of really gorgeous fall tones, kind of heading into holiday. I think it's a perfect transitional palette if you love those deep purples and those deep kind of brown burgundy shades. We also have a lot of really nice shimmer in here, so I'm a big fan of this one. And I'm actually a big fan of the whole collection, believe it or not, because I really love the lipstick too. The lipstick is what I'm wearing today. The funky packaging, I think I told you guys in my review that like I could have done without like the, you know, paint splotches or whatever, but they're sort of starting to grow on me now that I'm using the palettes so often. It's a great option for the sale if you've been waiting, as well as the lipstick that goes with it. It's such a gorgeous color. Here you can see the color right here. It's this perfect everyday nude, so I love this one as well. It's the shade Natasha, for those wondering, and both of those are lovely options for the sale. Now going to other palettes, I want to talk about this one for the color lovers out there. The Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana. This is the mega one, like the big palette. She's also come out with two quints, but they're not at Sephora, which I thought they were initially, but they are not. They are at her website. So this is the Sephora palette, and it's also at her website too, but to get the discount, you can buy it at Sephora for the sale. This is really hard to hold because it's massive, but this is what I mean by people that really love color because it is so bright. It's definitely one that is, from a first glance, kind of like intimidating at first. It's actually really fun to work with when I want to go for some colorful looks. I will grab this one lately. It's been really fun. And I like how she's kind of divided it from like columns here. You can see like neutral, cool, and warmer tones. So they're kind of in columns of two to be a little bit easier, but she's also got those browns, this really nice green over here for those of us that don't want too much like bright, bold color. So this is a lovely one if you've had your eye on it. 20% off will really help. I want to talk about more palettes. Let's talk about palettes while we're thinking about them. This one from Huda Beauty, I do think is a lovely one as well. Now keep in mind, this one is a similar theme to the My Dream, but a little bit deeper overall. So the My Dream palette had the same sort of purples as well, but it was more, I guess, like pinky purples and a little bit of a different, like lighter, slightly lighter glam. This one's a little bit deeper and has a little bit more of those fall tones. So this one is slightly deeper, but what I will say is the textures you can't beat when it comes to the Huda Beauty palettes. So compared to Natasha, Natasha has a lot of different formulations in her palettes. Huda is, in my opinion, the industry standard for like tons of different formulations in one palette. So I recommend this one for those of you that like to play with texture. If you do not like to play with texture, then I would avoid, just because there are quite a few here, and I do think that it takes some kind of playing around to be able to really enhance these pigments on your lids. What I can tell you is glitter glue is going to be your best friend for some of these, as well as placing with your fingertip versus brushes, because there are some really nice foiled pigments in here, plus some creamy textures as well. And of course we have her really beautiful mattes. When you actually swatch some of these, they seem like they're going to be weaker, but they're just the swatch. When you actually apply them on the lid, they're really, really strong and easy to blend, easy to layer. This is a good option if you are a Huda Beauty fan and you love textures. Now when it comes to eyeshadow, of course we have Anastasia Beverly Hills. There's a couple new ones from her in the last few seasons. So of course Nouveau has been out for a few months now. I'm going to be talking about this one because I do think this is a lovely palette to get. This color story is really, really special. It's very different. It's very surprising in person. When I kind of picked it up, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this a ton, but this is what I really love from Anastasia. She's sort of improved her formulation with this one compared to Modern Renaissance, Soft Glam. Those are beautiful palettes and they're, in my opinion, industry staples as well. A lot of people use them, a lot of makeup artists use them, but this is one where the pigments are just as strong, but for some reason the fallout is not all over your face like how some of the other palettes are. So I love that this one has been improved in that way. Same with this one. Okay, this one has been like grungy vibes for me. It's actually the perfect fall grungy palette, and grungy in like the most classy way. Grungy kind of sounds dirty or like garbage or something, but it's not. It's really stunning, like dark though. So just keep that in mind. This is a darker one, but I do recommend it for those of you that like that kind of tone. So if you like those darker colors, those rich fall vibrant colors as well, this is so surprising too. So it's like the Nouveau palette was super surprising, as is this one. They're totally different color stories from what the brand is usually used to putting out. I'm really, really impressed with this one. I've been using this one a ton this fall, and I do think this is gonna be a lovely one too if you love those colors and the tones of like those beautiful autumn leaves. Taking a quick break from eyeshadow, I wanna talk about this mascara that I recently have discovered from Tower 28. Whew, this is nice. I'm very, very excited to share this one with you because I do think it's a lovely mascara. This is the Make Waves mascara. There's only one color in it, which is jet black. And I love the packaging, of course. This really fun light purple is really cute. And the wand is super cool. It's one of those short bristled wands that has a cool indent in the actual wand itself. So you can see there's quite a curve. I like these types of curves personally. Like the Dior Overcurl mascara was like my OG for so many years. It does have longer bristles, but this one is shorter. So sort of like the Volume de Chanel, but with a bit of a curve on the brush. And this one separates and lengthens beautifully. It adds a little bit of thickness to it, but it really is super strong in volume and lengthening and just separating really, really nicely. So I love that one. It doesn't flake throughout the day. It's perfect for up or down, upper or lower lashes, up or down. And it's just a nice one. I've been very impressed with this. So this is the only mascara, I believe, from Tower 28. I do think it's worth checking out if you're interested in a new mascara this sale. I'm going to suggest two more products from Tower 28 while we're talking about them. I really like these lip glosses, and this one in Sesame has been my go-to for fall and leading into holiday because it's a really beautiful color. So this is their latest in the line, but they also have pistachio and oat and coconut, and they're all gorgeous. So these are the Shine On Milky glosses. Very, very stunning, very affordable as well. Like they're not super expensive, which I really like. They're still high end, of course, but they're not like, you know, 60 bucks a gloss type idea. And I love that the wand is straight. It's really nice and medium opacity to full right off the bat. Super, super lovely. Has a bit of a smell. Slightly sweet, I would say, but nothing overpowering, not perfumey or anything, but just a little bit on the sweeter side. And it's just like this gloss has been in my purse for ever since I got it for a few months now. And I've been really loving putting this one on for a deeper, vampier look. But of course, they also offer the lighter everyday nude colors and pinks that are super stunning too. So this is a really, really nice gloss formula, super comfortable, makes your lips look shiny and moisturized and like no imperfections, just perfect. And I also want to share the skin tint because I know we're sort of out of skin tint season, but I've been loving this one for lighter makeup days. This is the SunnyDays SPF sunscreen in it, as well as the tint. So the shade that I use is called 15 Melrose. And because of the sunscreen, there is a very strict expiry. So I know with makeup, you know, we sort of like bend the rules with expiry dates a little bit. But for sunscreen, I think you kind of need to pay attention to that a little bit more, given that it's supposed to protect your skin from the sun. So be careful with that. but this is Broad Spectrum SPF 30. One of my favorites, very, very nice on the skin, has that slight glow, makes your skin look healthy but not radiant. So nothing too crazy glowy, but just that healthy, like youthful look. I would say this is a true light coverage with the possibility to go up to medium if you build, but not super, super like heavy with coverage. So it's really nice for that grab and go. Slight evening of the skin, sun protection, a little bit of that glow, it's perfect. My second favorite skin tint is actually relatively new, and it's from Iconic London. This is the Super Smoother Blurring Skin Tint. This is also 100% worth checking out. Very similar application style to the Tower 28 with the dropper style, so both of them have this. And like I said, light coverage, a little bit of that medium kind of buildability to it. Really, really gorgeous on the skin though. This one is only a little bit more radiant than the Tower 28, so if you do want even a little bit more glow, this is perfect. It lays beautifully, it doesn't emphasize anything. Both of them are like this. They're just both fantastic, but if I could pick between them and the difference between them, this one has more radiance than this one. The eye cream that I've been obsessed with lately actually comes from Glow Recipe. This is the Guava Vitamin C Bright Eye Cream. When it comes to eye creams, I look for a couple things. Is it going to give me milia? Because that is not a fun look. This one does not. It is very thin, it's very creamy, has a really nice way of just seeping into the skin. It doesn't emphasize or dry out, nothing. It hydrates really nicely, gives you that nice little bit of glow, and I love the cute little like container. I think Glow Recipe kills it with this, of course, but it comes with a pump and it does have vitamin C in it. When it comes to like brightening, because vitamin C is supposed to brighten, I will say I notice a little bit when I first apply it, but I also do not have overly dull under eyes. So this is a lovely eye cream if you're looking for something new, and it's also like a gel consistency, so it's really nice and lightweight, slightly cooling as well because of that gel consistency, and it just seeps into the skin beautifully. This is a serum I really, really love from Fresh. Now I will say this is a lovely one, and it's actually a great one to take advantage of during the sale, but this one will come with a warning. So this is the Tea Elixir. It's the Skin Resilience Activating Serum. Really gorgeous on the skin, really beautiful slight glow, and really moisturizes and plumps the skin. This can also be used as primer. It's super, super nice on the skin that way as well, but I just like to make sure that I'm doing a light layer. If I'm doing a little bit on the heavier side, I do feel like it's a little too glowy on the skin, and you'll see that it's just a bit too much. So that's kind of like the warning I'm gonna give you, is like use it very sparingly because you'll be very shocked at the concentration and how little you actually need. So I like this one a lot. This has been such a nice surprise from Fresh. Just figured I'd let you guys know if you are looking for a new serum for hydration and moisture and just that really beautiful glow. Now, Tom Ford has come out with those new Shade and Illuminate duos, and they are at Sephora as well. Now, I do have the whole collection here. I don't recommend that you get all of them. They are pricey. So check out my review if you are interested in all of the information on those. But Tom Ford has come out with 3 new shades in this line, as well as they've brought back an updated version of Moonlight. This is the original Moonlight here. It's super, super stunning. But my favorite Shade and Illuminate duo from that video, if you guys noticed, is actually Peachlight, and it's one of the new ones. So this is Peachlight here. It's so beautiful. I just think it's so, so nice. And having it at Sephora included in this sale is perfect because these are a splurge. So I really, really like this one. It is my favorite. Of course, there are other duos in this line if the Peachlight is not quite your cup of tea, but one of these duos I think is really, really nice. If you want to give yourself a nice, like, luxurious treat from Tom Ford, I feel like his line lately has been like hit or miss depending on what you get, but the Shade and Illuminate duos are beautiful for that highlight and the blush, and the Peachlight is perfect. Oh, I just love it. It's literally one of my favorites. I use this for a highlight and I use this for the blush. It's perfect. I feel like you guys were commenting my cheeks the entire video, like, what are you wearing? This one, I love it. This is a lovely duo to get during the sale as well. I want to briefly talk about the Charlotte Tilbury holiday releases. I actually do recommend the Pillow Talk palettes, but again, I don't believe you need both of them because, I don't know, like the times that we're living in, if you want to treat yourself to one, great, but it's not like you need both of them. The Beautifying face palette in fair medium, and there's also medium to deep. So I do think whichever one you think will work really nicely for you. My favorite out of the two is Fair Medium, only because I can use more of the shades. It doesn't have anything to do with performance because both of them perform really beautifully, but I do find medium to deep on my skin tone is still really nice, but I have to go very carefully and light-handed. So this is one that I really love. I love the two highlights. I love this beautiful blush here. It's a matte. This is also a matte as well, and it's very bright if you want that like pop of something really bright and bold for holiday. So this is my favorite one out of the two, but then I'll show you medium deep as well because this one is coming in very, very close. I love to use the top row here, but for the bottom row, I have found that I can either use eyeshadow or go extremely light. I can use this as a blush, but this one is very, very deep as a blush, so I have to be very careful. So both of them are beautiful, but this is just one I have to adapt a lot given that my skin tone is a bit more fair. This one is stunning though. Whichever one that you pick, I think is also a lovely one. So both of these are great. And she also has her pop shots. I'm going to show you all of them, but I do not think under any circumstance you should be getting all of them. I feel like these are lovely to just have in your collection, just one for that extra sparkle. So when it comes to the range at Sephora, I believe there's only 4. And my favorite out of all of them at Sephora is the rose gold one. So I'm gonna show you guys that one because this one I think is very, very versatile. It is, in my opinion, the one that you can add to many different looks. It's not quite super selective looking. So if you want something just really, really bright, you can go for the brighter ones on her website. But this is one that's just like, you add that really beautiful pop of shimmer if you want. It's this gorgeous pinky gold, just like I'm showing you. I do recommend them. They're definitely good quality, but I don't recommend getting all of them unless you're like a major keener and Charlotte Tilbury's your whole life, which that's okay. We all have our things. So good news for my Canadian gals. I know you were all waiting for the Lancome Teint Idole to come to Sephora, and it finally is there. So I wanted to recommend this foundation as part of my recommendations as well, because this one is really, really beautiful. This shade that I have is 305N. It is slightly too deep on me, but I can still make it work. So this isn't quite my shade. I'm hoping to get like a half a shade lighter now that it's in Canada. But this one is beautiful. The only thing, like I love it, so I let it go for now, but there's fragrance in here. So for allergies, big, big deal, right? We don't want to have fragrance all over our skin if we're allergic. This is quite fragranced, lots of perfumey, like floral smell, pretty strong on the nose too. So I would say for this, if you're okay with fragrance, then you're okay. I'm okay with it, but I wish it just didn't have it. You know, that's the only thing. Otherwise, it looks like stunning on your skin. It's like stupid how beautiful it looks. So gorgeous, like just amount of that radiance, medium coverage, buildable, seeps into the skin, looks flawless. Obviously, it's your skin with foundation, so it's not gonna look like a filter, but this is as close as I've seen to having your skin look just very beautiful. It doesn't emphasize lines or anything. It's just really, really gorgeous. So I'm glad it's finally in Canada. This is the Teint Idole Care and Glow. Getting close to the end here, we do have the Hourglass palettes. These are great to pick up during the sale because they are pricey as well, but definitely worth it. So Hourglass has come out with 3 options this year. Again, I think you can just pick the one that you think is best for you and how you wear makeup and what you think you'll use the most. We do have Elephant, which I think is the most used to what they've also put out in previous years. So this is Elephant. It's very, very beautiful, and if this is kind of your style, I think this is the perfect palette for you. It has finishing powders, it has bronzers, it has a highlight, it has 2 blushes in there. The lightest palette in here is Butterfly. It definitely has some nice finishing powders in here, and we also have a highlight and 2 blushes that are deeper, but this one is also a great option. My favorite, I would say, is Tiger, because Tiger has a lot of the newer shades in here. It's the most new shades in one of the holiday palettes. It's also deeper overall, which I really like to see, but I do like the highlights in here and the cool blushes. This is super, super stunning. So I love all of them. I have been using all of them on and off and kind of dipping in between them, but I really think these are really lovely to pick up during the sale as well, especially if you are a fan of Hourglass and you want to get one of their palettes. Okay, I do think we need to mention the Gucci blushes. I don't think I've talked about them on my channel. I totally forgot. I don't know how they slipped my mind. So they do have this shade called Apricot, which I do think is really lovely for an apricot blush On me, it is quite light, so I do find I have to layer this one. But I do think it's a really lovely one if you are interested in a true apricot blush. This really has the slightest pinkiness to it, but it really is an apricot color. And of course, I love the packaging. I think it's actually very holiday and fun. My favorite shade that I have is number 3 Radiant Pink. This one is perfect for spring. Now remember, these are pigmented as well. So they have a bit of perfume off of them. I can smell them. So just like the other Gucci makeup, kind of expect the same smell with this. So hopefully it doesn't bother you too much, but that is something to know. But this one is a beautiful pop of pink, and I'm actually wearing it today. It's beautiful, super stunning. And this one's my favorite. This one's number 3 Radiant Pink. I also like Rosy Beige, which is number 5. So this one has a little bit of that beigey purpley depth to it. It's perfect for fall and perfect leading into holiday. It's a bit of a deeper color. So I do like this one too. These are my 2 favorite shades. I don't know why I got this shade. This one's too deep for me. This is number 6 Warm Berry. If you have a deeper complexion, this will look great on you. But for myself, it's that very light-handed touch of a brush in this powder because then it just shoots pigment very quickly. They're very easy to blend out. They look stunning on the skin, but this one is just a little bit too deep for me. So I prefer Radiant Pink number 3 or Rosy Beige number 5. If you're wanting a new lipstick to check out during the sale, besides the Natasha one I just mentioned earlier, I love the Merit lipsticks. I think they're so easy, beautiful, beautiful colors. This is my favorite here. It's called Slip. It's a perfect shade for every day. I've been using this for no matter what season, just like in my purse on rotation. It's so beautiful. This is one of my favorite shades, but they also have such a wearable line. So lovely, very easy to use. I highly recommend these as well. Getting one of these during the sale I think will be so fun. One of my favorite lip formulations. They're satin, they're creamy, they are very smoothing and layer beautifully on the lips, which I love. So those are all of my recommendations for the Sephora sale. Do let me know your thoughts and what you're gonna be picking up. No video is complete without saying goodbye with my little guy here. I'll be shopping the sale too, so I'll be sharing my haul very soon. And of course, Harvey says hi. Thank you so much for watching and happy shopping. Bye guys.